What if you wanted distraction free? And I'm really pleased there is another recommendation now, as well as the Remarkable if you want distraction free. I think the Amazon Kindle Scribe, if you want distraction free, is, with all its updates now, it's getting there as an option. Obviously, the Remarkable is the one that began it all, the one that kind of coined the phrase really distraction free. That's their main marketing message. Also, the Kobo Elipsa 2E, and then finally the Supernote A5X. The Kindle Scribe, first of all, you can see is, I think, is the pinnacle of reading really on the Eink tablet. Just pure reading. Just out of these, of the distraction-free kings, this is the one. And the reading on the Kobo Elipsa 2E is just a little bit behind. It doesn't have the full 300 dpi screen. And then for art, way out ahead is the Remarkable 2, and the Kindle Scribe is lagging a little bit behind, even with that pen update, because they don't have layers. It is really good, the Kindle Scribe. It is close to being a really usable sketchbook. I'm pretty sure the Tab Ultra C is on a par with that for art at the minute, but you can see I wouldn't recommend the Kobo Elipsa 2E for art, certainly not, or the Supernote. Neither of them are a fulfilling drawing experience if that's what you're into. And I've obviously put the Supernote slightly higher than the Remarkable for reading, because the Remarkable does not allow you anything apart from PDFs basically, and you could sideload some EPUBs if you wanted to. That's your lot. Whereas the Supernote does have the Kindle app option. For work, I've put that the Supernote is the one. I mean, none of these are really designed purely for doing everything that you might want to at work. And this is, remember, in a comparison score with things like this, which are amazing for work and can do everything that any Android tablet can, really, for work at least. Kobo Elipsa 2E, a little bit behind that. It's got that advanced notebook. So the Supernote has email. In fact, it's got calendar, and not that I really find them to be the best implementation or the most natural one to use. The Scribe for work it's not really there yet. Maybe the cloud might help. Remarkable for work, I honestly don't think it is the best device for work. It's okay as a companion. Yes, they have a limited Microsoft integration, but that just means that you can send things to the device as basically a flat PDF that you can annotate. So that's all just markup. Presenting, the Remarkable 2 could actually be used along with PowerPoint, because you could make a PowerPoint and then you could send it to your Remarkable, and you could screen share your Remarkable to a screen, and you could write on it, which is actually quite a nice way to work. That is the only one really that's got that viability. You could do a little bit more presentation on the Supernote, of course, which now has a screen share, but I don't think it's really there. I think I need to increase that somewhat though, that Supernote presenting mode. The design of them, I love the design of the Supernote. I really do. There's a lot of discussion about that, but the Remarkable 2 and the Supernote are very different, but very lovely designs. There was a comment on my channel recently that said they weren't so keen on the Supernote design. I think it is a matter of preference. Remarkable is a very well designed device, and it's why it's so copied by so many people. It is really nice. They are specialists in the design, and the way they've designed this keyboard case is fabulous. If you haven't seen that already, I've got lots of content going through the details of this stuff. Writing, the Supernote is the place for writing. The Supernote is one of the best devices for writing. You can do a Bluetooth keyboard if you wish. You've got handwriting recognition, which automatically handwriting recognition happens in the background. Kobo Elipsa 2E has a really good advanced notebook. It's just let down by the actual pen, and the fact that it keeps to every single time you convert a sentence, it brings up a dialogue box, and it's just, it's the opposite to flow. And when you write, if you write, you know you need flow, right? The Kindle Scribe, it's just not there for writing really yet. Yes, there is the handwriting recognition now, but they all do that, and it doesn't do it in a sort of really mega useful way. It's just sort of email it to yourself. It was pretty accurate though. I was reasonably pleased with how accurate it was. And then next, professional behaviors for thinking, for decision making, for reading and learning, for planning, and for innovation and creation. And I've got to just press go, and it takes me to builds me a whole new spider chart to have a little look at these professional behaviors right there at the top. Thinking and decision making. I think thinking and deciding on these really focused devices, the Supernote and the Remarkable 2, is absolutely brilliant. A place for your thoughts is the marketing language. The first thing you open up on when you buy a Remarkable, a place for your thoughts. We've designed remarkable to get out of your way. And somebody's just noticed in here, I don't really understand the distraction-free argument. You can make any device distraction-free if you want. Yes, I agree, and that's where I was before I reviewed the Kobo Elipsa 2E. And when I reviewed the Kobo Elipsa 2E, I just really enjoyed reading on it. I really enjoyed, this is it here, I really enjoyed, look how quick it is to open up. And if you were reading a book rather than being an advanced notebook, that was on standby. I haven't touched this since last night. You know, it opens up straight back where you are into a reading book. It's just, all you can do on this device is you can read and you can write. So that is all you do on it. And that's what we're talking about for focus. That's not the case with the Tab Ultra C. I'm constantly thinking to myself with the Tab Ultra C, oh, I should write that email on the Tab Ultra C rather than on my laptop, because then I'll get that time off the screen. I won't have my eyes being damaged and tired out by looking at a screen. And that's the case, and it's brilliant for doing the email, but then it's not so easy to like flick back and go back to the thing you were reading. It's, you know, it's not hard, but the point is, look, these are the distractions. All these different apps that I'm using, they are the distractions, and I love it. This is the device that I would wholeheartedly, number one, recommend to you. But that's because on that divide of reading or learning or productivity, I'm definitely, with my Eink tablet, sitting over here at this point, more towards the productivity end of the scale. My needs have become from, first of all, just wanting them to replace my planner at work, which was really kind of over here somewhere. I have a reader for reading. I've found that actually, as I've used these, I've shifted across to the more productivity orientated end. And now I feel my use case has changed gradually over time to become more productivity orientated. I wasn't expecting that necessarily. It's great. I couldn't go back to Remarkable right now for the long term anyway. And actually, sometimes when I drive when I'm evaluating, when I'm reviewing a distraction-free device, I take the Tab Ultra C or whichever books device I'm working with at that point. I take that along with me because I know there will be a point where I'm like, yeah, I want to browse the internet. I need to browse the internet for something, but I want to do it on Eink, so I want the books device in my bag. And you can see for thinking and decision making, the Kindle Scribe and the Kobo Elipsa, they're not as focused on making notes and thinking through your ideas. They're more focused on reading. Great for reading. Communicating, the Remarkable 2 does have the cloud functions, does have the option to send things by email to different email addresses. That's about all really. The Rata Supernote, I don't think that the email is well implemented. It does it, but I'll be honest, I don't think it does it well. Kindle Scribe, basically no way to communicate from it. The Kobo Elipsa I put on there because you can make Word documents that can go, you know, they could be synced with a shared synced, or they could be uploading to a shared Dropbox or something like this. Collaboration, that's why the Kobo Elipsa is there, because you could have that synced to a shared Dropbox and be making Word documents that come out as nice looking Word documents. And you can build, you can add maths in there, you can add flowcharts and things like that, and come through really nicely into Word. And we can see the Supernote for collaboration and the Kindle Scribe. Not really much on offer there. For reading and learning, no surprise, the Scribe and the Elipsa are higher up than the other two, and the Supernote slightly higher than the Remarkable. Planning and organisation, the Supernote is the one because it has the calendar in there, and because it tends to feel more like a notebook than a diary. Remarkable and Scribe I like more almost as a sketchbook than as a notepad, and that's why they are where they are in these ones. But innovation and creation isn't just art. Innovation and creation is also about writing. And when I pick up my Supernote, I want to start writing, like, not a few notes. I want to start writing prose. I want to start writing, let me look at it. I want to start writing like full novels, frankly. I want to start writing like this. And if this appeals to you, this is the one to get. You know, this is a beautiful pen. It's not a stylus at this point. Handwriting looks great on it. This is great. I can't wait for the next generation of these devices. And yeah, like if I was to pull out one device because I had a poem ready to go, it's not unusual with me. I wanted to write a poem, then this is where I'll be doing that. If that's you, if that's your innovation and creation gig, definitely go and have a look at the Supernote. Last comparison then, same for distraction-free devices. So Notes app, you can see I put the Supernote 1 at the top. It does automatic hand recognition in the background, which is absolutely fabulous. Remarkable 2 a little bit behind that. They've made some improvements in terms of adding the type folio, adding the type text, adding the handwriting recognition, improving that in the device. Kobo Elipsa 2E has a good Notes app, except it's the opposite of flow. So it's okay for jotting things down, but if you want to write something serious, You don't need that. The Kindle Scribe is just not the best. They have improved it and are, I hope, continuing to improve it in the future. The Kindle Scribe is the top for the reading app. It is a great reading app. What I really love about the reading app is the popular highlights, because it takes you straight to points in the book that everyone seems to find important. And that can only be done because there's so many people who use Kindle. So the Kindle library is great. Kobo Elipsa is obviously a great reading app as well. But the Remarkable and the Supernote lag behind there. Other apps, it's just not much to speak of at all really in any of these devices. You can see the Supernote slightly higher because you do have the Kindle in there. A pen and screen feel. I love the pen and screen feel on the Rata Supernote. Some people don't. Some people talk about it being quite plasticky. I actually do think it feels like a nice rollable pen or gel pen or something like that. It's good. I think it's excellent. It's my favourite of the screen fields for writing. It's not my favourite of the screen fields for drawing. The Kindle Scribe is a really good screen field, there's no doubt about that, as is the Remarkable. So there's some very good things there. They've all got the Wacom stuff apart from the Elipsa. The Elipsa pen is, if you want to write a lot, you're not going for the Elipsa. If you want to read a lot and occasionally jot down a few notes, then Elipsa is just good enough. The Remarkable design is fabulous. The Supernote design is fabulous. Kindle Scribe is okay. I'm not the massivest fan of the aluminium. Some people are fans of the aluminium. I just don't think it's the very best design and build out there. And I did have a problem with the slight gap between the screen. Well, that seems to have changed. It seems to have almost gone down the gap size, but it just never has felt like everyone has talked about it as being the most premium design and build device. I don't think so. The pen is not my favorite pen. It's not a bad pen, but it's not my favorite. Okay, so the Kobo Elipsa 2E is not the best design, although it's the lightest of the bunch. The hardware features, the Kindle Scribe has the 300 dot print screen, which is the most important thing about it. It's the thing, if you know you want the best in current Eink screen technology, Kindle Scribe is the option, and the other ones lag a little bit behind that. Remarkable too, they're due an update. If only the Elipsa 2E had included Wacom, then I think that they would be a different device, frankly. And then other things like customer service, difficult to test out because I haven't had much time to use it. But the stories that I've read, what I did was have a good internet search to see how much complaining and how bad the complaining was. The stories generally were pretty good about Supernote, and they are like lovely people who really just want everyone to love them and love their brand. So you get good things when you talk to them. Amazon are quite good with returns and things, I find. So I've given that quite a good score. The other two, Remarkable, the horror stories there, and there must have been some bad stories about Kobo. Oh, the Kobo, the reason why I downgraded the Kobo is because the story is that people find it really difficult to get in contact with an actual human being. And I know AI chatbots are getting better all the time, but it's just very frustrating when you just want to explain something to somebody who you hope can help you, and you just can't get in contact with the right things. The Remarkable Cloud's actually really good, in my opinion. It's available on 3 different devices. Supernote and Scribe, well, Scribe's getting there. At least it's built in there. I've shown you that today. It's coming, quietly launched in the background already. And the Kobo is a good cloud, but again, I don't think they're relying on you syncing your notebooks with third-party apps. They have given you more choice now. And updates, Supernote update path is great, and they share it with everyone, which is absolutely wonderful. Kindle Scribe updates, yeah, they're good, but they should have been launched with the device. Remarkable too, actually have now sort of ramped up their pace of updating, and when they do bring an update, it's normally useful. The Kobo Elipsa 2E seems to have very few updates in the actual software side of things since the original. So I hope that was very, very useful to you. Has this been useful to you? We're going to do a bit of Q&A now. Has this helped you? Have you made a decision? Or if you already own one, why do you love the one that you're owning? Or why do you not love the one that you're owning and you want to change?